Hey y'all, it's Christy from Teadoddles, and today I'm going to show you how I transfer a PDF pattern to my tracing paper so that I can have a pattern that is adjusted to fit me, and then I can keep my pattern with all the sizes and use it if I want to make a shirt for someone else, or if I lose weight, or if I gain weight, whatever. But first, I'd like to say welcome new subscribers and welcome back subscribers. I'm happy to have you here with me in my maker shenanigans. I do like to do the yarny things, the fabric things, and the DIY things, so you'll see a little bit of all of that here on this channel. If you like to make things, you might like it here. All right, this was supposed to go out yesterday, but I'm a day behind. I had some tire issues, but we'll talk about that in another video. All right. So, and this pattern is the Sophia top from DG Patterns. I'm just using it to give y'all some tips and tutorials on dealing with PDF patterns. So, my front and back on the top, I'll be cutting out. I need to transfer my number so I can see. I'm going to be doing 16, so I can circle it. 16 for the top, the upper part, and then the front and back for the bottom. I'm going to do a 16 on the front and a 20 on the back, so that I can, I'm going to gather it at the back, but that'll give me more room over my hips, and it'll fit me better in the top area. Okay, so all I do really for this, and I'll put a link again to this. This is actually Office Medical paper. You get it so much cheaper, and it works really well for patterns. So I didn't see a reason to. You can buy special paper for pattern tracing, but it usually is way more expensive. And if you do a lot of it, you're gonna want something like this. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. So I always trace these with a pencil first. Trace all any markings I need, which this one just has a fold marking. And I'll put notes on here. The notes I usually write on afterwards with a Sharpie so that it doesn't get worn off as easily. I like to trace it with a pencil because if I make a boo-boo, it's easier to correct. So this is just like tracing anything else. And you can use a straight edge if you would like for the parts that are straight. I just follow along the line. And that's all that I really do. This can get a little tricky here. And if you want to put a line here, this is where, can y'all even see that? Move this up some. This is where it starts joining the other pieces, and sometimes it can be hard to find your line in here. And sometimes when it gets mixed up here, I'll go over to this side and go ahead and trace the one that I know is correct, and then just sort of connect the dots. Okay, you can use a straight edge or a curved. I also have dressmaker rulers, which I do have one of those. I don't really need it on this. That you can use to do the curves too, to make it easier to trace if you need, if you don't feel like your tracing skills are as good, or it's harder for you to see or something like that. You can use something like that. That makes it a little bit easier to do. When I get this edge, I can just go right across that edge. I wouldn't worry too much about being super exact with it because there's a seam in patterns and clothing patterns and everything for a reason. It kind of gives you a little room for boo-boo. That's the way I look at it anyway. All right, so there I have it. I have it traced. And I'm going to turn this over. Oh no, let's put one of these on here only because I don't want Sharpie going through onto my cutting mat. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some on there already anyway, but I'm gonna pretend like there isn't. So then I flip it over and just put markings on here that I might need later. And like I said, I do it in Sharpie. I like to put my little arrows. And then I'll put my notes on here. And yes, it's good to have the name of the pattern on every pattern piece you have, because I have accidentally had some fall out of an envelope or just get mixed up for some reason. And if it doesn't have the name on it, I don't know what it goes to. And that is not fun. I'm not gonna write PDF sewing pattern because I know what it is, but I will write that this is the back upper bodice. And then I need to cut one on fold. So that gives me the notes I need. And then I'm not going to outline these edges in Sharpie because I'm going to cut them out. And yes, I do use scissors that I have for paper to cut this out. I do not use my fabric scissors to cut out a pattern. Even though it's a lightweight tissue, I still don't do it. I only use fabric scissors to cut out fabric, because that is, it just keeps the edges of your scissors from wearing out. They do wear differently, trust me. I have scissors for all kinds of different things. And the other thing I'm going to write on here is 16. So that reminds me of what size this is, okay? And so this video is going to be pretty short. The only other thing, maybe we'll cut it out. Now, you can certainly use scissors and just cut this out. I have a rotary cutter that is for paper, so that's what I would do. Usually I first cut off the end of here just so I can get this roll of paper out of my way. And if you have a larger mat, this is, to me, this is faster and easier. I have also cut out with scissors and just do it when I'm watching TV or something, or a video on YouTube, but I find this quicker. I also use this method to cut out fabric. It's just a little different because fabric moves around on you more. And I'm going to do another video that will be out next week about cutting fabric out, with the different ways to attach your pattern to your fabric or not attach it, and cut it out so you can get better results. So yeah, I cut that off a little wonky, but it's okay. It's gonna go on the fold. The fold will be what the fold is, and I will my edge just won't align perfectly because I cut it crooked. It'll be okay, but that's what I do. And now I have a pattern piece. And what I like to get is, I don't think I have any over here on the shelf. So hold on just a second. Okay, so this is how I store my PDF patterns. I buy big packs of these manila envelopes with the little closure on it. If I have I usually like to print out a picture and stick it on the front so I can see what it looks like. Because I usually have a picture with the PDFs that I can do that with. And then I'll put, you know, more information about it. Like, I'll put the name over here and like who the pattern is and the sizes that it includes. And on this one I have a note that I lost the pattern file and where I bought it from. So that I know, I don't have the pattern file on my computer anymore for this. I lost it for whatever reason. But I store the taped together paper PDF in here, and I store any tissue paper I have of it, because sometimes maybe I make the shirt for somebody else, and usually I'll put a note on it that, you know, I made this for such and such or something. Usually I only make it for family members, so it's not like I have a whole list of people. I'm not making it out there being a tailor, but that just helps me to know. And sometimes I have a pattern that maybe I've made adjustments to, and I like it 2 different ways. So I keep it all in one place, and then I can put it in my filing cabinet. I just find this a lot easier than everything just being kind of clipped together and tucked away. I do have a few in there like that because I need to get some more envelopes. But that is how I store them. So that is just a pretty quick video on how to transfer a pattern to tissue paper. It's really super simple. You're just tracing, and this is just to keep me from having to, so I can keep all my, because printer paper, you know, printing this out and taping it together, it takes a long time. So if I cut out one size and then I need to make a different size for whatever reason, then I have to print it out again. So I don't want to have to do that. Y'all may hear my dog come in here. She just opened the door. So doing it this way, I can trace it, and this is much easier to get different pattern sizes or whatever I need to do. So as usual, if y'all have any questions about anything that I'm showing you, please feel free to ask me in the comments or email me. My email is down below. Like I said, next week I will have a video about how laying this pattern on the fabric and cutting it out, different ways to do that. Because I'm fixing to do that right now, actually, after I trace the rest of these, but it won't come out till next week. But I will, y'all remember to have a life lived creatively, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.